In this video, I've put some practice questions on electronics information for you to prepare for the ASVAB test. Current flows blank. Alright, current is the flow of charges from higher potential to lower potential, and current always takes the path of least resistance. So current flows both from higher potential to lower potential and towards least resistance. Four capacitors are connected in parallel, each having a capacitance of 4 farads. What will be the equivalent capacitance of these capacitors? So capacitors are added in parallel here. In the given question, four capacitors, each having 4 farads capacitance. Since they are connected in parallel, then their equivalent capacitance would be, we just have to add them up 4 times. So 4 plus 4. All right. So that would give us 16 farads. So the answer here is 16 farads. A fuse rated at 0.8 ampere blows when the switch is closed. If an 80-volt supply is supplying power to the circuit, what would be the maximum possible value of the resistance for which the current flows through the circuit? Alright, it says here the fuse is rated at 0.8 ampere, which means that the current will continue flowing through the circuit when the current is limited to 0.8 ampere. So according to Ohm's law, the current is just equal to the voltage over the resistance. Alright, so our first option here will give current is equal to 80 over 100, which would give us 0.8 ampere, which is the rated voltage, and the current will flow through the circuit. And for the second option, third and fourth options, currents are, we have 80 over 90, which is just equal to 0.89 ampere. Then 80 over 80, that would give us 1 ampere. And then the other one is 80 over 70, which is equal to 1.14 ampere, which are greater than the rated current. And now since the other options are greater than the rated current, then the maximum possible value of the resistance for which the current flows through the circuit is 100 ohms. So the answer here is 100 ohms. Electric power can be measured by what type of instrument? So the answer here is watt meter. So a watt meter is a type of instrument specifically designed to measure the electric power consumed by a device or circuit. And it typically consists of voltage and current measuring elements and provides a direct measurement of power in watts. So by measuring both of voltage and current, a watt meter can calculate the power consumption accurately, accounting for factors such as power factor in AC or alternating current circuits. A resistor with a 100 ohms of resistance has 10% tolerance. What does this mean? So when we say tolerance of a resistor, this indicates how much the measured value of a resistance is different from its theoretical value. And this is calculated using percentages. So 10% tolerance means that the resistance can be more or less 10 ohms to compare with 100. So a 100 ohms resistor with 10% tolerance may have values ranging from 90 ohms to 110 ohms. So the answer here is this one. The resistance may vary from 90 ohms to 100 ohms. That will be 100 plus minus 10. And that would give us 90 and 110. Oh no, this one. Sorry. This one. AM radio stations broadcast in which frequency range? So frequencies are measured in kilohertz, megahertz, and gigahertz. So an AM radio stations broadcast in 530 to 1700 kilohertz. So it should be the answer. The measurement mil refers to. So mil or from milli. Okay, mil from milli. This refers to 1000. So among the choices here we have, okay, this one. This should be the answer, 1000 of an inch. Or it could be 1000 of a meter or a centimeter. Right. The generated force on a current carrying wire can be increased by blank. All right. So we have 4 choices here. So according to the Lorentz force law, the force on, okay, let me write it down. Lorentz force law. Okay, the Lorentz force law, the force on a current carrying wire is directly proportional to the strength of the magnetic field, the length of the wire, and the amount of current flowing through the wire. And mathematically, the force F is given by this equation, equals BIL, where B is the magnetic field. Okay. Magnetic field strength. I is the current flowing through the wire, and L is the length. The length of the wire. So from the formula here, we can see that increasing the amount of current flowing through the wire will increase the generated force. So this means that a higher current will result in a stronger force of the wire. Therefore, the answer here is this one, increasing the amount of current flowing. What should the temperature of a typical soldering iron be when joining 2 wires together? So to properly melt a solder, you should use a soldering iron heated between 500 and 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So the answer here is this one, 500 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. Most wires are made from, okay, the answer here should be copper, since copper has a high conductivity and is financially cheaper than most metals. Current I is passing through a load of resistance R. If the voltage across the load doubles and the resistance of the load is reduced by half, then what is the amount of current passing through the load? So according to Ohm's law, the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance is, okay, voltage equals the current times the resistance, which can be derived or rearranged as I equals the voltage over the resistance. So if the voltage doubles and the resistance is reduced by half, then that would be, our current would be equal to 2 times the voltage divided by, okay, half or 0.5 say 0.5 of the resistance. And this would give us, okay, 2 divided by 0.5, this would give us 4 times V over R, which is just equivalent to 4 times the current. Therefore, the current flowing through the load will increase 4 times. So the answer is this one.